welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. And I'm continuing to work on my teaser trailer. It's been going along quite nicely. If I sound a little strange, it's because I'm still a little sick, and I would like to again apologize for what happened last stream Tuesday and why it was cut short. I would like to apologize for that. But anyway, I am feeling a whole lot better. I still have a bit of a stuffy nose, but that's hit or miss. That's neither here nor there. I'm still gonna be dealing with it. I also got some water and some coffee, so later on I'll probably brew myself some tea to drink. But anyway, let's get back into this stream. So right now what I'm working on is I'm animating the chairs, and I'm also gonna have to redraw the table that the characters are gonna be sitting at, and then after that I'll be practically done. I just need to work on backgrounds, and yeah, this is going to be pretty nice. This is going to be pretty good, and I just can't wait. And I would like to say that there are a few other things and a few other projects that I kind of want to work on as well. I definitely want to redraw my banner because, well, not only do I have a new sort of avatar character, but at the same time, I also think it's just time for a nice redesign. Also, I am slowly getting up there in views. Guys, 175. Well, actually, no, let me read it real quick. Yeah, 175 subscribers, you guys. Thank you so very much. This is awesome. This is so kind. I'm loving it. It feels like I'm growing every day, and this is wonderful. Thank you so much. I don't think I could have gotten this far without you guys. And I just want to say thank you. Things are still a bit wild, a bit crazy, but they're going to get better. At least I very much hope they do. But I'll talk more about my issues in a later stream. And that's sort of why I'm being motivated to advance my channel a little bit and try to do more, get more done, XYZ. Also, my art envy video is definitely getting a lot of traction, and I'm kind of glad that it is. Like, I'm kind of glad that not only did an important video to me get traction, but it also appears as though my other tips and tricks videos are gaining attention as well. And so, what I like to do on my channel is definitely just make videos that get straight to the point. Like, I know my videos are somewhat short, but that's really intentional because I don't want to give people a bunch of buffer room. I don't want to give people, I'm not trying to pad for time to pad for watch time. Like, you guys come to my videos, you see them, and you look them over real quick for a reason. Straight to the point, you get your answers, whatever you need from the video, then you can go. So I really think that my strong suit in my content is definitely that 5 to 11 minute mark. And then when it comes to the actual content of my videos, it's things that don't really draw a lot of attention. Like, who really makes a dedicated video to art envy? Who really makes a dedicated video to animating on ones, twos, and threes? Like, not many people really do that. But in that same vein, it's important. Talking about envy, especially in art, is important because it gives the people a sense of community, that you're not alone in something. Everyone goes through envy. Everyone's going to go through art envy. Everyone's not going to like their current situation, which is why you have to strive and push for betterment of yourself and betterment of whatever situation you're in. Use every tool you have to your advantage. Excuse me. Still a little bit sick, but I'll be fine. Oh yeah, speaking of things I got planned, I am excited to announce that I will be going to ECGC, the East Coast Gaming Conference, on the days of April 18th to April 20th. I just need to pay for my tickets. But no, I'll be going there pretty soon. And I went 1 year with my college. It was a big networking event where we were able to meet different people in the industry, commune with them, ask them about different things, get insights into character design, programming. We saw demo reels of different projects and things. And because of COVID, it had canceled. Like it was canceled for I think maybe 2 years. But no, it's coming back this April, like 2023. Because it was around that time and I was thinking, I should really go to ECGC. Like even though I'm a small creator and even though I'm a small animator, it's still gonna give me a chance to commune with other people. So now I have some planning and organizing to do. I'm gonna need to make some business cards. I'm gonna need to have different demo reels of my animations ready. I'm also gonna have to put on my big socialite cap, talk to people in the industry, tell them about me, who I am, what I do, how I do things, maybe talk about a few of my plans and stuff like that for my show. And hopefully, I'll find a job because I'm being honest, I do not want to work in retail forever. No, I don't. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody who does work in retail, but like, folks are mean. Folks are mean. Customers are mean, and I'm still applying to jobs, and ain't nothing come for me yet. Like, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Like, retail has me traumatized. I don't like throwing that word around, but if I'm being completely honest with how I feel and how things are going, retail has traumatized me. I do not want to be anywhere near a freaking cash register for a long time. So let me just work on this animation. Let me just hopefully get a few more views, and then I can start a Kickstarter or some shit from a show and contact some old college buddies and writer friends that I've made and say, hey, you want to work on this show with me? I'll pay you. I don't know. I'm panicking because, like, one of my student loans, I guess, activator or whatever, because, like, I'm already past due on one of them, so now I have to give them like 300 something dollars, like that past due amount that I missed, and the like 150 something I owe. Anyway, I'm just going off right now. Like my thoughts are sporadic. Like things are crumbling around me, and I just gotta keep hope. I gotta keep hope and keep faith, but keeping hope and keeping faith is hard right now. Because when you had a plan for so long, and then that plan goes to shit, you're kind of like, what do I do now? That is a whole video topic I could go into about like, no matter what you do, your plans will never go 100%. Because like, there's a lot of stuff I've had planned since I was a child, since I was like really young, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get into animation. I'm going to leave with a job and my master's degree. I left with my freaking bachelor's. I didn't even get the exact degree I want. I had to get like I had to sort of build my own degree. And now I'm just scraping for like some recognition and attention. But like, such is life. Life is just one big grasp and one big journey for attention. The attention that you need in order to get jobs, get work, and advance in your career. But like, I'm gonna be like really honest. Like, I don't even want to be like super famous. I just want enough subscribers to help me get a job. And like, even after I get a job, I'm still gonna be doing YouTube. I'm still gonna be working on animations and stuff like that. And I still want to open my own studio in the future. Like, I just want to get enough recognition and attention to survive. I'm not trying to be some big YouTuber or socialite influencer. I'm not even trying to be like a billionaire. I'm just trying to survive and move one more day ahead in this world. And it's actually kind of funny because I remember watching YouTube when I was younger. Like, I remember being, I wouldn't say like super into YouTube, but I definitely watched a lot of YouTube when I was in high school. I sort of decreased when I was in college because I was just so busy. But like, I remember watching a lot of YouTube when I was in high school and middle school. Like, I remember watching Stickman fight animations, Ruby. Afma was another big YouTuber I liked, and her different Minecraft roleplay series. I remember watching theory videos, pork chop and flat screen, pretty much everything. Anything and everything that like a teenager would like, I watched. And so like, even though I wanted to be a YouTuber, I never really, well, I wouldn't say be a YouTuber, but be someone, but even though I wanted to be someone who did YouTube, I never really thought of what niche I could do or what content I could create until I actually went to college and until I actually started animation. And then I'm like, you know what? I could animate. Like, I could just share little animations and people would like them, which you guys do, which I'm very thankful for and I very much appreciate. I will never not be thankful. I will never not be grateful. Like, if I don't say thank you or I'm grateful in one stream, it's gonna be said in the next stream. Like, because even though my life has not gone how I planned or intended or wanted it to go, I'm still thankful for the small joys and the small things that I'm going through now. So again, to all 175 of you that are currently subscribed, thank you so much. If you're new to my channel and you're just popping in, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying, even if it's only for a minute or a few seconds. Thank you for stopping by and watching. But back to YouTube as a kid. I watched a lot of YouTube as a kid. I watched different streamers. I very much liked, role play and videos with overarching stories that I could get invested in and sort of like binge watch. But and even though I could have started YouTube when I was younger, a part of me was always afraid or concerned. Like, if I'm being completely honest, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I at least wanted to start Owoh's Corner back in high school. And I did have a few videos here and there, but the big issue was that I was not confident in my work. So I would always say, like, oh, I'll wait till I draw better. I'll wait until I do this better. And it was really in college when I sort of broke out of that habit or that belief. And I just said, you know what? Who cares? Animation art is a growing experience. I'm just going to share what I got. And in sharing what I have and in getting feedback, comments, likes, different things like that, that has definitely helped me more than if I had just waited until I was a master or waited until I was good at it. Like, just posting my stuff has been some of the best growth that I have ever experienced. And again, I'm just thankful. I've been saying I've been thankful a lot, but it is genuine. I am truly thankful for everything. Everything, honestly. Everything I've went through, everything I've done, even if it hasn't been what I planted or hoped or wanted, it's still given me insight and experiences that have helped me. And I am eternally thankful. Eternally thankful for, well, everything. As crazy as it sounds, I'm thankful for everything I've been through, everything I've done, the people I've met, the people I've managed to touch, and even through my videos, the people that I've managed to help. I'm thankful for all of that as well. Because I guess what I'm forgetting is that we're all going through a journey. And so to speak, we all meet people on our journeys for different reasons. Like, I don't know why I'm working in retail. I don't know why I'm dealing with so many, I guess, jerk people at work, but hey, I'm interacting with these people for a reason. Maybe it's to learn something, maybe it's to do something. I don't fully know or understand yet, but even though I want to leave, I just gotta wait a little longer. Maybe something will come. Maybe a chance will come or opportunity. Who knows? So definitely, this scene is just to, I guess, fill an animation. But what I want to do is, after I get backing and support, and after I get more people working on this project with me, I definitely want to have the chairs be more symbolic and I guess more unique to each of the different members. One of the hard things, I guess, is the fact that what I really want to avoid is a fairy tale situation with my show. And what I mean by fairy tale situation is in shows like Fairy Tale and what's the other one? The other magic one. Not Demon Slayer. That anime with the guy that yells a lot and it talks about like grimoires. Let me look it up real quick. Yes. So the issues that shows like Fairy Tale and Black Clover have is that essentially everyone only has one kind of magic they can use. Now, earlier Fairy Tale, like you could learn to use other people's magic and you could learn to do different spells and stuff like that. And there was like lacrima and different utility magic and magic items that you could use. Excuse me. Said I was still a little sick. So the issue with shows like Black Clover and Fairy Tale is that it falls into sort of only I can use this magic, only she can use this magic. Like this is super unique magic that only one person can use. And that's really loud. Let me actually see if I can. There's like a loud fan going on right now. Give me a minute to. It's making me hard to think. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this off right now. Okay, that's better. I apologize for that. There was like this fan going off and it got real loud. I couldn't even hear myself think. So where was I? Uh Uniqueness. So in shows in anime like Fairy Tale and Black Clover, when it comes to a show about magic, essentially the characters are sort of zoned off and cordoned off into using their own unique magic. So there's one character that can use teleportation and he's strictly using teleportation spells. There's one character who has like healing water magic and she only uses healing and water magic. There's this one character with fire magic that all they use is fire magic. And so that's why I want to with this show everyone is equal and everyone is the same. Like in this world that I'm crafting and creating, magic is the grand hit my mic. Magic is the grand equalizer. It puts everyone on the same plane. It puts everyone on equal standing with each other. And the uniqueness does not come with people only using one type of magic. Rather, the uniqueness comes with how people perceive their magic. One thing that is very important in this world is the idea of perception. How someone perceives their magic being used, perceives their magic being cast. And that is where the power and uniqueness comes from. People use math to cast magic. People use magic circles. People use sigils and floating characters, and they write out their magic. Other people are more attuned to the environment, so they're drawing from the ambient magic in the air to cast healing spells or offensive protective spells. You have children who don't even understand, magic yet, and their magic is either very chaotic and powerful, or they mainly use illusions. This is what I'm trying to push forward with this show. Is there is not gonna be one person can only use one type of magic. Everyone can use any type of magic. It's just how you go about it, how you perceive your magic, sort of moving forward. Like if you're a scientist, you're gonna be using math and air compression and different things like that to create wards or protective barriers. If you're someone who is an environmentalist or someone who believes in nature, then you're more so gonna be raising up trees to defend you or shooting gusts of air as protection. It's very much a show based on perception. So the schools of magic like wizards and sorcerers and druids don't really exist because being a cleric isn't a thing. Being a wizard isn't a thing. Being a zealot isn't a thing. And it is difficult. Like I'm not gonna lie, this show is like creating the rules for this show is somewhat difficult, but it's also fun. It's fun for me to create a world that people could potentially become lost in and people could potentially love and very much appreciate. This is exciting to me. This is fun. It what was oh I thought I deleted something. I was about to freak out. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw my old coworker again, the one that got caught stealing. Like, yeah, I saw him at the mall. I was going to the mall yesterday, and sometimes I like to go to Starbucks, sit down, and enjoy a coffee while I draw or just walk around. It gives me like a feeling of, I want to say, normalcy. It's nice to just have a day out where I get to people watch and stuff like that. Anyway, I saw him and like I didn't really talk to him. I just smiled at him and waved and said, "Hey, how you doing?" But like, it's good to know that he's not in jail. Like, I'm glad that he's not in holding or anything. I mean, it's still sad to see someone lose their job And it's even sadder to see that someone lost their job for stealing food like that. That's really sad. And my heart does go out for him. But I do hope that he's doing well. I do hope that he is doing fine wherever he is, and that maybe he finds another job. It appears as though I am almost an hour into the stream. So, how is everyone doing? What's up? How is everything going? I hope you guys are having fun. Ooh, wow. One of my old videos is up to 481 views. You see, this is what I like, and this is what I really enjoy is creating long-standing content, creating content that someone could rewatch and share with others. Like, this is awesome. This is great. I did have an idea for another video. I'm thinking of making a video on networking or like networking as an introvert because that is something that is hard to do. Networking in general is hard, but if you are an introvert doesn't mean you're shy, but you look inward, you're more calm and patient, and you're more humble. It's kind of hard to network because, at least when I was still new to it, I was like, oh, I don't want to use people. It feels kind of bad. It feels kind of weird or yucky. But, like, no. You should go into networking with a more open mindset and a more, what's the word? Go in with a more open mindset and go in with a more genuine approach. Like with networking at its core is getting the word out of who you are. Like that is networking. That's how you network. Is just sharing with people what you do, how you do it, your different skill sets, and then they can decide to either hire you or if in sometime in the future somebody's looking for work, they can say, "Hey, I know this guy. Met him XYZ. He says he's an animator, he says he's a video editor. Give him a call." And so that's what networking really is at its core is sharing information about yourself. And so at times networking can be a bit pushy where you say like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" You almost feel like you're a Jehovah's Witness going door to door and saying like, "Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" that's what networking can feel like sometimes, when in reality it's really not. There is such a thing as passive networking, where essentially what you're doing and how you go about it is you let people come to you, or rather, you lead the conversation into talking about your skill sets, what you do, and how you do what you do. So, when I say lead the conversation or sort of reformat the conversation, what I mean by is you want to plant a seed in people's minds. Like you can start with saying, "Hey, how you doing? My name is XYZ. Like, I like a shirt," or "This looks pretty cool," or "Oh, this job is just temporary. I got my degree." And then that leads them to ask questions. Well, like, "Oh, like, what are you doing and what do you do?" And that's when you say, like, "Oh, I actually went to college. This job is just an in between. Like, I'm into graphic design, or I'm into animation, or I like XYZ, or I'm an artist." And then once you say those trigger words, then you want to go in depth, especially given your background, because usually when I say like, oh, I'm an artist, people say like, oh, you do music, and I'm like, no, not that kind of artist. I'm an animator. I work with digital art. I also use acrylic paints. I love stuff like that. So, and over time, I've learned to not just plant the seed, but to also water that seed too. So, if somebody asks me, hey, what you do? I immediately say, oh, I'm an artist. I deal with paint and animation. Or like, oh, I'm an animator. I animate in my free time. So that almost removes the guessing work that whoever you're networking with has to do. Like you want to, especially if you're working against stereotypes, you definitely want to close off any guesswork or any I want to say, yeah, just any guesswork or stereotypes, and just say like, hey, I'm an animator. Just go straight for it. Like, hey, I'm an animator. Hey, I'm an artist. Hey, I do XYZ. And then once you open that door, then it leads people to wonder about you, become more curious, and say like, oh, like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you working here? Like, oh, is your stuff good? And then you can share your social media, or if you have business cards on you, you can share a business card. Like, I will say that a few of my subscribers, believe it or not, came from networking. Like, I told people I do YouTube, or I told people that, like, I'm an animator, and they say, "Ooh, cool, let me see your stuff," and I give them the link to my YouTube channel, or I give them the link to my Instagram, and they subscribe to my YouTube channel from Instagram. Like that. That's literally how I got a few of the people who are subscribed to me now. So it's really just learning how to segue and learning how to draw people into you. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. You are beautiful. You are an interesting person. You have the capacity and ability to be an interesting person. Like, this is what my great aunt told me. Like this conversation sticks with me to this day. But like, I remember one time, I think it was some family event that I had went to, and like, I wasn't really interacting with people. I think I told this story in like a past stream, but like, I wasn't really interacting with people. And then she said, like, oh, Amobi, you're not talking to your cousins, you're not talking to your aunts and uncles. And then I said, oh, I'm just not really a sociable person. And then she said, no, it's not that you're not sociable. I think you're very sociable. You just let people come to you. And so that's what really stuck with me and drove me, is that you have to let people come to you. You shouldn't be trying to hop on any hype trains or any fads, and you shouldn't be trying to talk about like gossip or whatever. Let people come to you for the nature you put out there. Like, that is the best way to grow. That is the best way to build a stable and consistent audience, is letting people come to you. And I've done that, and I can say that even if my growth has been slow on YouTube, even if like I actually, oh shit, what did I do? Even if my growth has been slow, even if whatever, like I'm not at 1,000 subscribers right now. I will say that my growth and my impact has definitely been more stable because I stay genuine to myself, and I make content, and I make stuff that is relatable, empathetic, and goes to understand people. Like, that is my brand. That's how I try to market myself, as someone who is not trying to. work with fads, someone who is trying to be genuine and genuinely make stuff and genuinely draw people in like that. Like that's what I do. So that's a part of networking, is not trying to hop on any fads and not trying to like manipulate or push yourself like a door to door religious salesperson, but to just be your unapologetic self and just say, hey, my name is XYZ. I like to draw. I like to animate. If they say, like, oh, you do, oh, you're an artist. Oh, you animate. Do you have a YouTube channel? Or do you have an Instagram? Then you give them that information. Then you tell them your handle, or you give them the link, or you give them your phone number, even. Like, I've gotten at least, I want to say 4 or 5 phone numbers from people just because I told them that I'm an animator and I also do graphic design. Like, I've made a lot of connections. People know me, and it's not just like, oh, I know people in the industry, cuz I don't. Like, I don't know people in the industry. I don't know anything like that. But like, I will say that I have met people and I have had good relations with the people I've talked to and I've met. And I know for a fact that I've at least been able to make an impact on those people, and they have some sort of idea of me. So maybe one day in the future, if they need a graphic, or if they need a commercial edited, or they need something, they can say, hey, I met this guy in such and such store. He gave me his phone number. He gave me his YouTube. He makes some really good stuff. I'm going to contact him. I'm going to see if I can get him a job for something. Like, and it even went to the point where even my supervisor tried, my supervisor wanted me to make NFTs for him. And, NFTs are a very hot button, hot topic issue. And, hmm, let me take a sip of coffee and then a sip of water after this, because I need to have a clear throat and I'm going to be very genuine with this. So give me 1 second. That was the coffee. That was the water. Now, I don't think I'm going to make a full video on this, but I will say that I definitely have enough empathy, and I definitely have enough kindness and out of the box thinking in my heart and in my soul, as to where I know why artists draw NFTs. I know why animators animate NFTs. Genuinely, nobody goes into NFTs wanting to make them, wanting to be a part of the sort of rocky terrain, almost pyramid scheme like landscape that is creating NFTs, because it is not something you do not wake up and say, I want to make NFTs and I want to go into cryptocurrency. You don't, that's not something that you wake up and do. Most artists and most animators, they say, oh, I want to make comic books. I want to make TV shows. I want to share my art and have people feel a type of way. That is what people go in thinking and feeling, is wanting to impact people and wanting to share their art. However, through their journey, they go through a struggle. Maybe they can't network. Maybe nobody's giving them a chance. Maybe they've applied to 500, 600 jobs in graphic design, video editing, concept art, storyboarding, and none of those jobs hired them. And then those people say, okay, well, I've done XYZ. I've tried so hard. Nobody's giving a chance on me. I have to make money somehow. So they go into NFTs. Like, I am willing, I have enough empathy, I have enough sympathy and understanding of other people to give them that benefit of the doubt. So I understand why an artist would make an NFT. And sadly, in this economy and in this world that is very difficult to live in without money, and that's sort of a separate video or a separate stream I can go into, like how people start off just wanting enough money to survive, and it's just over time it becomes greed and envy and wanting to have the most money and be the most successful. That's a whole another video. But what I will say, but to bring it back to my point, I understand why an artist would make an NFT. And in this economy, in this world, you need money to survive. You need to survive and work somehow. Bills need to be paid, food needs to be put on the table. If you got loan debt, you got to pay off your loans. Like, I know why people are doing what they're doing. I know why people are doing NFTs. And I'm not gonna lie, like, being completely empathetic, like, if I was really struggling, if I was really trying to make an extra buck, maybe I would be in their situation. Like, maybe I would be in a situation where I have to draw NFTs and I have to sell non fungible tokens of my art or of my animations, like, just to make it by. And even though there is a stigma against NFTs and against stuff like that, sadly, I do think that we are not addressing why people turn to NFTs and why that is something that could be avoided if people were more kind, if people were more open-minded, if there were more jobs and more industry and open-minded industry that takes chances on people and isn't so, you need to know a guy that knows a guy in order to get this job. Like, if it wasn't that, maybe things would get better. Maybe things would be better. So I definitely understand why NFTs are made and why so many people flock to them. And while I am glad that I am not making NFTs and I have not received any heat for it, I do have, again, enough understanding to know why they aren't liked and why people would flock to them to begin with. It's that chance to be successful. It's that need to make money or that need to survive and live the next day. And I guess that's why this channel exists and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, this is why I'm an animator. This is why I'm trying to make my own show. This is why I want to have enough money to open my own studio, because For starters, the film and animation industry needs to be decentralized from places like Hollywood and New York. Those areas have a monopoly on that stuff, and people move to California and people move to New York to like network and be in that life and be in that industry. But like honestly, it sort of traps people and content and stories into this bubble of like just certain characters and certain character archetypes that get tiring. Like we should have studios in Ohio, Vermont, freaking Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. You know what? A I would like to see an Alabama animation studio. Like honestly, as crazy as that sounds, like Tennessee or Alabama or Nevada, like I would like to see them have an animation studio and what kind of shows they would make and what kind of stuff they would do. But essentially, what I'm trying to do is Raleigh is one of the top 3 cities to live. I walk around Raleigh all the time. I take the bus to work, and I see like apartments being apartments being built, storage units being built. Like everyone is a lot. I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people are moving to Raleigh. But in that same vein, Raleigh does not have the industry or the infrastructure for these people. People are moving to Raleigh so that they can drive an hour and a half to Research Triangle Park and work over there. People are moving to Raleigh to, hopefully do remote work from home. But there is no actual shops, there is no actual companies here in Raleigh, even though people are flocking over here. So my hope, and this is long term. Like I'm thinking maybe sometime in my 30s, like early 30s or mid 30s, if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky and if I get the success that I'm looking for, then hopefully sometime in my 30s, I could open my own animation studio in Raleigh. I'm thinking of locations either in downtown Raleigh or maybe like a nice office space near Triangle Town Center because I do like that location. I'll lease a building. That's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, I want to bring actual industry and business here in Raleigh because there is a love and appreciation for art. We have at least what 2, 3 museums in Raleigh. We have a whole zoo. If you walk around Triangle Center and if you walk around downtown, you'll see statues and murals and wall art and different things like that for days. The appreciation for art is here. And I actually learned from a customer that Raleigh has its own channel. I think it was called like the Raleigh Network or the RDU Network, where essentially you go in for a class, you learn how to use like cameras and be a part of a film crew, and they will supply you with cameras, and you could talk to other students and they can become staff for like a film or whatever you're working on, and then you'll have that project in your portfolio. You just have to submit it to the Raleigh channel and it has to be viewed through them. But then after that, you can like you own the rights and you can share whatever project you made out to other companies and stuff like that. Like Raleigh has its own TV network. Raleigh has its own like studio and stuff like that. So come on now, like bring jobs to Raleigh. Have people work here. Have people, I don't know, freaking do stuff. Like I'm trying to open and start my own animation studio for people. Like I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to actually make this place, I don't know, good to live at and give people options and choices and help them. Like that's something that I want to do. That's something that I want to see done in my lifetime is industry and shows or like an entire strip of studios in Raleigh would be pretty freaking badass, would be pretty freaking cool. Because even though we have people moving to Raleigh, long term, I can see that Raleigh may not be able to sustain the people here long term. Because while this looks like a good idea on paper and why, you know, it has the potential to be a good thing or whatever, like long term, if you actually think about it, long term, like if there's nothing keeping people here, if there's nothing, if there's no sort of infrastructure or different things like that to keep people wanting to come and keep people wanting to facilitate things in the city, like things are gonna get difficult real quick, real soon. Coming along rather nicely. I wanted to move some stuff around and make sure that everything was good and looked nice. Let me check real quick the runtime. Almost an hour and 30 minutes. So longer than my last streams. That's pretty good. I think I'll go for maybe 2:30. So like I'll probably end the stream like at 1 o'clock, 1:30. So it'll definitely give you guys some time and something to watch and enjoy. Oh yeah, speaking of watching and enjoying, I have very much been enjoying my little side project, the guidebook. It's definitely helped me work on different character designs and different featured characters and featured entities that are going to be showing up in the show. I've worked on two new witches, two new characters, two new main characters. I mean, one of them is Trina. She is sort of this alchemist, chemist character. Her whole story is she was a scientist like Ayo, though as whereas Ayo was, killed off, so to speak. Trina, she was more so her research and her discoveries were stolen from her, and she was not given credit. And so she has been sort of pushed out and ousted from the science community. So she has some of her notes that they don't have access to, and but she is still trying to attain some sort of recognition, some sort of influence for her work because she was not able to grow to as much prominence as she had wanted to in her career. And so that is sort of her revenge and sort of her story as to why she is seeking revenge. She is actually ranked number 3. So it goes Ayo, he is number 1. He's the guy in charge. There's a second character that it's going to be revealed later. She has pretty good backstory. Ranked number 3 is Trina. 4 and 5, those two are up for debate. Rank 6 is Nancy. He's actually very high rank. Despite being the youngest, he's also very powerful. There's another character, a sort of there's another scientist character. He's more of an engineer. And so his whole character is that when he grew up, he very much loved the idea of magic. So when magic was discovered, he went balls to the walls. Like he was creating spells, he was creating like different engines and different items that derived energy and power from magic. Though despite all of his creations and success, no one took a chance on him. And so his whole character is that his repeated rejections and his repeated denial throughout his career has led to him developing this sort of schizophrenic PTSD to where he is oftentimes scared or concerned with things and he can't really deal with certain situations. So he relies heavily on his other teammates for certain stuff. He requires reassurance, different things like that, and he's gonna have his own sort of story. There is also another character. She is a beast man, and she is like this. I'm gonna get called out for this. So essentially, she is a beautiful beast man. She's a wolf. She wears like this business attire. She's sort of like the financial face or like the financial end of the Witches 13 organization. So she helps procure funding and different resources for the group. And her whole thing and her whole story is that because of her nature as a beastman, she wasn't taken seriously. Like, racism doesn't really exist in this world like it does in our world. Like, racism is definitely, certainly a thing, though it's more so, though the racism in this world is more objectification and sexual. So, like, you see a lot of creepers who view elves as these beautiful entities, and so like there's this real push for elves to become models and go into sex work, whereas beastmen, they are also viewed in this sort of sexual objectification, but they are more so seen as like these objects, these entities for pleasure. So when you have like a cow beast man or a wolf beast man or like other entities, like they're more so being like people look at them as hungry animals. And so this character, her whole thing is like she's not trying to be this sexual object, even though other enemies and other characters are going to look at her with the sexual light. She's trying to be this formal businesswoman and she carries herself and acts in a certain way. And her whole story arc is almost accepting who she is and almost using how people perceive her to her advantage. Because early in her story, her whole thing is, no, don't look at me that way. Like, I'm a businesswoman. I'm trying to do XYZ. But then later on, she grows and learns, let me actually use some of these wiles to get what I want. So it's this evolution of her character of ignoring who she is to embracing it, but still staying true to her desires. I've also been drawing and working on different locations as well. That was more so earlier in the book, but I definitely wanted to get some locations and geographical phenomenon down packed. Floating islands exist in this world. And so essentially, I think I mentioned this in a previous stream, but the floating islands are a result of the oversaturated magic causing gravitational surges where areas and chunks of land float and levitate. And there are also other geographical phenomenon where heat gets trapped, and so it's made these magical dense zones and magical dense areas where they're very hot. The magic there is very concentrated, and so it's led to like this these dense ore and mineral deposits where these different resources are dense in magic, and so mining towns and mining colonies have been sprouted around these areas where people go in and they mine these resources and people live there. But it's also home to a lot of beastmen and orcs and different creatures and entities like that because because of their direct uh, because of their direct contact with magic during the cascade, they are somewhat more attuned to filtering magic in their bodies, and they're also more resistant to it. And that is why these places have sort of become home to these creatures and entities, trying to build a better life for themselves and grow in their capital and money. You have different characters, you have different locations. Like one of the other locations that I'm very excited for and I very much want to explore is New Mexico in this world. Like post Cascade, the New Mexico fault line essentially sank. And so now New Mexico essentially lives almost under the sea. Like they're like the entire city, this not the entire city, the entire area is covered in waterfalls, and there are like these magical bubbles that sort of rise and fall, and it's this beautiful location. Like I'll probably take a picture of the of what I drew and share that of like New Mexico and what it looks like. Um, I'm also thinking that I may explore the Yellowstone volcano. Like, I definitely think that, what would that area look like if it were touched by magic? Like, would it have gone off? Would it have overgrown and overflowed? Like, what would that look like? I definitely think that the initial reaction would cause Yellowstone to erupt, but it would have created this almost oasis where there are like a bunch of trees, it would almost look like Lost World or like The Land Before Time, where there's like this valley and there's like a bunch of growing trees and different animals and mini ecosystems in this area. That would be something nice to draw and something nice to come back to as I continue to world build on this show. Excuse me. A lot of world building and a lot of things that I definitely need to and want to think about. I definitely think I should watch the show Glory as well as other revenge shows and revenge media, really, so I can get an idea and understanding of how revenge stories go. Because a big thing, I guess, the big thing about a good revenge story is the fact that they are slow burn. And I can either go the route of I tell it in chronological order where you see everything that these characters went through and then we go into the revenge, or I could like give hints and glimpses and pieces of each of these characters' traumas, explain why they're going through it, and then cake those small flashbacks or those subtle references in with their plans. But one of the good things about revenge stories is I'm going for something with totality. And what I mean by that is I'm not going for a revenge story where these characters just outright kill who did them wrong. Like no, these are characters who were hurt, who were traumatized, who are each going through their own problem and issue, and death would be too quick of a judgment. Like no, these characters want to inflict the same suffering that they went through. So they are going to steal jobs, like expose these people to their families, expose these people to the public, ruin industries, ruin jobs for people, ruin careers, leak information. Like they are going for total revenge. And so I guess because I am a new writer, like I'm just gonna be honest, like I am a new writer. Like I don't know, and I'm just gonna be honest. Fan fiction can only teach you so much. There, I said it. Like writing fan fiction in high school of all places can only teach us so much about writing. But like, I guess I just need to take my time and make sure that I am producing something that makes sense and that can draw people in. I mean, I already think it draws people in because we've all been hurt, we've all struggled, and that is sort of the crux of what the audience would be coming in for and coming in to see is seeing a story where these characters have been hurt, these characters have gone through things, and the different things they went through has shaped them. Whether they're stronger is up to interpretation, but they are definitely changed people because of their different circumstances and different things that they went through. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can't fill that layer for some reason. Gonna have to come back to it. I am back. I had to go and take care of something. Let's see here. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. When I when I start these streams, I just like to make a chill environment where you guys can come and go as you please. Stick around for a few minutes, maybe an hour or two, and just enjoy. Like I try to make a calm environment for people just chill to and listen to. I mean, I don't really have any music or any sort of like music loops to put on, so it's really just my voice. It's really just me talking. And so I do hope that you guys are interested in what I talk about and what I have to say. If you guys are going through something or if you guys are having a difficult moment, I just hope that my streams are helping you get through whatever it may be that you guys are going through. Just something nice and calm. Well, that was strange. That's never happened before. There was like this little glitch. And it went out for a minute. So let's see here. So what I'm gonna do is likely in After Effects, once I put this scene through it, I'll likely add a some sort of like blur or glow to it, as well as alter the opacity, just so it can have a more ethereal effect. Because that's really what I'm trying to do is to add. Ooh, I could add like a slight drop shadow, and that's what I'm also gonna do for this 13 that you're gonna see is it's gonna have a drop shadow as well. So then it just adds more to the, I want to say like depth and realness. I'll probably alter the position so instead of just being a straight drop shadow that is radially atop or radially below the actual drawn segment, it can actually appear a little in the corner along here, actually. That'd be really nice. I'm definitely trying to get more into using After Effects as a compositing tool instead of trying to composite in Adobe Animate. Really, because I want to learn the software, and I'm pretty sure After Effects is like one of, if not the industry standard when it comes to compositing animation. And while I do have an understanding of After Effects, I'm really trying to get more into knowing the software and using it more regularly. Because that's going to be really nice once I get the hang of it and once I have mastery over it. I think that's because I haven't cleared the history yet. It's probably like a memory issue or something like that. So let me go ahead right now and fix it. Yeah, this project is it's definitely taken me a while, but as I go through the different scenes, the different areas, the different locations, and look at the work I've done, how I've worked and tried to grow the different scenes and locations and all of the work I have done, I can definitely tell that my skills in animation have grown. They've definitely gotten better. Like sometimes I forget just how far I've come and just how much I've done because this is a lot of work. Like I keep forgetting that this is a lot of work for one person to do on their own, multiple scenes, multiple different locations and areas and aspects that have to be taken account of and account for. And like this is wild. This is crazy. All I've done, like, this is amazing for me to actually take a break to like look back and see I did this, I did that, I drew this, I animated that. Like this is absolutely wild. Absolutely crazy. Like I've never done this before. I've never pushed and tried so hard to make a name for myself, do something like this. This is beautiful and I love working on this project. I love doing this. I love having this. Oh yeah, I scrolled through my YouTube home feed, and there's this Pikachu. Like there's this Captain Pikachu. That's essentially apparently there's gonna be this new character in the new Pokemon series that helps the trainers like move around from place to place. For one, his design is really good. Like I like the leather jacket, the brown leather jacket with yellow fur. That looks really nice. I don't know why he has an italicized F on his belt. It's either gonna be like an italicized F, or that might be like a stylized wing or something. I definitely like the pants, and overall the color theory is really good for this character. It's very consistent, and like the main colors are white, brown, and yellow. I like the use of black for his undershirt because it really just grounds his design and keeps it consistent. His design isn't all over the place. Oh, his name is Freed. Like Friede. Freed. It's either Freed or Frida. Mm. Yeah, that's a good design. That's a good. Mm-hmm. So now it makes sense. Like he has the F on his belt is for Freed, but it can also be a wing, like because his Pikachu is Captain Pikachu. Like his Pikachu wears a captain hat, which is pretty cool if I'm gonna be honest. So like they likely have some type of boat or ship or yeah, I like that design. It's pretty cool. I like it. That's a strange segue for a video. But like anyway, I think I've had this stream up for quite the while. I don't want to eat you guys' time up too much. Just know that the teaser trailer is in its final stages. I'm just doing some coloring. There might be a few more small segments I have to animate, but for the most part, I'm finalizing some things. I'll likely get some stuff done later on today and work on it throughout the week. This has been a nice project, and I've just really loved and really enjoyed the growth and the development that my channel has gone through, the people I'm bringing in, the people who are liking and enjoying my content, as well as just the people who I guess ritualistically come back to watch some of my old videos or who need help or advice on something and they watch my videos again. You guys are awesome. You guys are nice. And I've really loved and enjoyed this channel and making my content. And I'm very thankful and I'm very blessed to have this through everything, through the ups and downs, through successes and failures. I do enjoy this. And this is a nice reprieve as well as a nice reminder that I am on the right path. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even. I stream on Tuesdays and Fridays around 10 o'clock, around that noon time, a nice time for myself. Anyway, this has been. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. I do have a Patreon and I buy me a coffee in the description below if you'd like to support me that way. And you can also find links to my other social media on the homepage of my YouTube channel in my banner. Anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art, and I'll see you corner creeps in my next video or stream. Bye.